Okay, does anyone have a question or a sharing that might arise out of that? Come on, folks, you're the ones here in person. No? Okay, we'll go to our list.
This question is from Matthew in Pacifica, California. What is the most effective way to share the practice of being present with others?
Good, that's a nice short question. What is the most effective way of sharing the presence with others? Well, the answer is rather obvious, is it not? Be present. It's pretty silly to try to go into your mind and try and explain to people what presence is all about and insist that other people are being present while you're not. So the most effective way of sharing presence with others, there are 2 steps involved. Step 1 is be present with them. Step 2 is give them a copy of Journey into Now. But to answer it at a slightly different level, what happens is the more present you are, the more it just organically opens up within you the ability to share with others presence and even guide others to presence if they're interested. You can't be a proselytizer. You don't want to be a preacher of presence. People will get very annoyed with you. People want to stay in their story, and they want you to stay in their story. They don't want you being present. But every now and then you'll find someone who's very interested in presence and who is very responsive to your presence. And there's a response that occurs. And then they might ask you, well, what is this that I feel in you or sense in you? Or I notice that your life is quite transformed. Or you're not the same person you were 6 months ago or 12 months ago. What happened to you? Well, I'm learning the art of being present, or I'm more present now. I'm more a master of my mind and ego. You'll probably lose them with the second sentence. So if you notice you're losing them, just say, well, just Om a few times. But it is quite natural, as you become more and more present and awake yourself, that there's a natural expression that flows from you. And the more present you are, the more you have the ability, I don't like the word ability, but the easier it is for you to invite others into presence, either with or without words. And if you're using the words, then the words have to arise out of silence, out of presence. In between the words is silence. After the words, silence. Silence is the field, the ground from which the words arise and express. If you have any agenda that you want to awaken someone, you want them to be more present, that's you in your mind. If you feel frustrated with someone because they're not present, that's you in your mind. But perhaps the simplest way of all is simply to say to someone, would you please be present with me? That's pretty simple. Be ye present as I am present. You could even get a little biblical. Be ye here as I am here. Be ye here as the flowers are here. One of the greatest gifts you can bring to others is the realization of how simple it is to be present. And how being present is everyone's natural state. Everyone you meet, everyone you encounter is already a fully realized being. They're a fully awakened being. They're fully eternal beings. They just don't realize it. The more you're caught in your mind, your thoughts, your understanding, the more you disconnect from the truth of who you really are. But isn't it nice to know that being present is profoundly simple? Can I have a yay on that? It's as simple as being here with what is here. It's as simple as, it's like a fine-tuning, being present with what is here. Even the light switch on the wall, I can just zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I become more and more present. It's a fine-tuning. Or I can become more and more finely attuned to the sound I hear in this moment. I can become very finely attuned to my left hand, this hand here. Bring full consciousness into my hand. I can bring full consciousness into my eyes, into the gaze as I look out through my eyes. It's as simple as being really, really present with what is here. No effort, no practice. It's always instant. The difficult thing is not being present. The difficult thing is remaining present. As you live your life, as you participate in relationships, as you go to work, the difficult part is remaining present. Because we are all so habituated in the world of the mind, it's difficult to remain present. That's why step 2 is necessary, mastery of the mind and ego, so you can come to a point where you are fundamentally present and you no longer get pulled out of the mind involuntarily. And the real truth is, it doesn't matter what I'm saying now. Some of you have heard what I'm saying before, perhaps many times before. The real value of being here together, or coming together through the medium of film, the real value is that this is an invitation to be present. You don't get invitations to be present that often in your day-to-day living. Most people are not presenting that invitation to you. Is that a fair statement? Yes. And yet the flowers are always presenting that invitation to you. The trees, the clouds, the mountains. But we're so busy trying to get ourselves approved of, or accepted, or finding a place where we fit in, or finding a way where we can be loved, or avoid the pain of rejection. We're so busy with all of that that we just imprison ourselves in our story. We're so busy pursuing success, trying to feel important, trying to avoid our aloneness, trying to please others, lost in judgment, that we don't respond, we don't feel, we don't sense the invitation that is constantly being presented to us in every moment. This Kleenex box is presenting to you an invitation to be present with it. If you respond fully and you're utterly present with the Kleenex box, at least for this moment of presence, you are an awakened being. That's the gift this Kleenex box brings to you. It brings to you the invitation into presence. As do these leaves or these flowers. As does the sound you hear in any given moment. As does your own body breathing. Such an invitation. It's constantly here, the invitation. Wherever you are, it never ever stops, the invitation. But the moment we go into judgment, the moment we go into me, mine, I want it my way, we completely disconnect. We're not even aware of the invitation. Someone like me has to come along and whack you over the head and say, pay attention, look, the trees are inviting you. The flowers, the Kleenex box, there's an invitation here. Pay attention. Now that doesn't mean you have to respond. You're a free being. But at least be aware that there's an invitation here that comes from the present moment to you. And it's actually speaking, if I can translate for a moment, may I? I can translate the language of the flowers and the trees, if I may. They're saying to you, beloved, will you not be present with us? Beloved, is a drink of water more important? Beloved, are you aware that your feet are moving unconsciously? I'm translating for the trees and the flowers. Beloved, will you not be conscious and present beings? How beautiful must we make ourselves, say the flowers, to attract your attention? Is your story that interesting? Does it offer you so much hope that you remain engaged in this story that never really delivers on its promises? We don't understand, say the flowers. We're getting confused. We certainly would be confused if we tried to understand. But fortunately for us, say the flowers, we don't try to understand. Everything is just what it is. And that includes humanity lost in the mind, lost in separation, lost in unconsciousness, extremely destructive in their unconsciousness. Isn't that true, Ray? We're just here waiting, say the flowers, the trees. We're just here waiting. We will never give up on you. We will never withdraw from you our invitation. We will wait eternally. We will wait patiently for you. We would certainly hope that someone would respond, but we don't hope. We're just here. So we can't even get involved in hope, say the flowers and the trees. We're just here continually presenting our invitation to you. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that's what's going on. But for the most part, we humans are so absorbed, so lost in the maze that is our mind, in the complexities of our story, in the false promises of the future, and the distorted memories of the past. We're lost in this story that exists within the world of the mind. We're lost in our opinions. We're lost in our beliefs. What will it take for these flowers to attract your attention? For you to respond and be utterly here as the flowers are here? What will it take? Perhaps just this.